Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the live stream. I hope all of our audio levels are correct. Just make sure that everything looks like it's going okay. Alright. Okie doke. Here we are. For those of you watching this video after the fact on YouTube, not as a live stream, here we are in the A2A Simulations Comanche 250 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It released earlier this week. That's a little bit loud for me. Is that loud for you? Let's just double check. Okay. So, the reason I didn't jump on the bandwagon with everyone else and immediately throw up some video was because I wanted to do it a little bit differently this time around. I wanted to do a ferry flight. I wanted to ferry this over from where they were built in the 70s, which was a place called Lock Haven in Pennsylvania, mid-Pennsylvania. The airport is now called the Piper Memorial Airport, if you want to Google that. So I flew it from there, starting yesterday morning. I flew from Lock Haven up to Goose Bay, which is about 1,000 nautical miles, and then from Goose Bay up to Nuuk in Greenland. And then this morning, early this morning, I flew from Nuuk in Greenland over to Keflavik in Iceland, and then did another turnaround, and then now I am flying the leg from Iceland, from Keflavik to Shoreham on the south coast of England, which is another 1,000 nautical mile leg. Yes, you can do this, and when you ferry flight an aircraft like this, you fly it on oxygen. The pilot would fly on oxygen, and that would be so that you could fly above 10,000 feet for extended durations to get the most efficiency. So I'm currently up at 15 flight level 150, and I have had a beautiful weather for this entire trip. I've had a really good, strong, steady tailwind the entire leg from Iceland down to England. If I was to pull up the wind map for my leg, taking off from Reykjavik or Keflavik, flying down, I'm literally hitting this beautiful area of wind that's taking me all the way down to Shoreham. And I suspect I should be landing in Shoreham with more than enough fuel left. As denoted here on my tablet, it says range. I've still got 730 nautical miles worth of range, and I've only got 394 nautical miles of my route left to fly. So that tailwind has been really amazing. I've burnt off the tip tanks down to about a couple of gallons in each tank. I get a bit concerned when I get down to 2 gallons in each tank. I start to feel a bit nervous, really, because that can the fuel pressures can get a bit light down at those low amounts. Obviously, if I burnt the mains all the way down, I might have to go over to those last 4 gallons on each side just to keep going. I'm currently on 10 gallons an hour roughly, which is a good efficient cruise setting. But we've currently got 19.8 hours on the aircraft. I really wanted to treat this aircraft like a real aircraft because it's the persistent state, because it's A2A. From the get-go, I wanted to fly it as if it was mine and as if it was a physical aircraft in the real world, where I can't just fly it anywhere in the world. I have to take it from location A to location B, and then that's where it is. And so when I started out from Lock Haven, I was very tempted to jump into the Comanche somewhere else in the world, and do a release video or a first impressions video somewhere else in the world, and not mess with this aircraft's hours on the engine and this aircraft's individual status. Because of course the persistent modeling is now tied to the livery and tied to the registration. So if you have a livery or a registration, that denotes your individual aircraft. If you then jump in a different livery, that's a whole brand new aircraft, which is beautiful. The PMDG DC-6 does the same thing, which is really cool, because you jump in your Boeing DC-6 or your American Airlines DC-6, and they feel like two different aircraft at the end of the day because of the routes you've flown them and the durations you've flown them. So beautiful scenery just looking out here. This is the northwest coast of Scotland. We've got about 2 hours maybe left. Let me see. Yeah, about 2 hours left of our cruise. How are people doing in chat? Please just post a couple of... Daniel. No way I join you and you're not struggling with cranking the engine on LOL. Yeah, well, yeah. Over the years, you do kind of figure out how an engine works. And this, when I picked this up in Lockhaven yesterday, this was a factory set, brand new off the line from the Piper Memorial Lockhaven plant. So you'd expect it to be pretty easy to start, etc. I haven't flooded it. I haven't done anything crazy to it yet. So I'm happy. Like I say, I've got just about 19 hours on the airframe at the moment. And hoping to really rack up the hours and see what it does. Let's just jump outside again. And that is... What portion of the world is that I'm looking at? Let's just go to the maps. That is Bowmore. There's Bowmore in here. Port Ellen. No, this isn't right. That's not what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Right. Yeah. It's this island here. Off the coast of Scotland, right here. I want to remind you, you still have a ferry flight from Kos. Yes, thank you, Daniel. I haven't forgotten that one. Yeah, that was in the... was that in the Comanche? No, that was in the Bonanza. I think that was... I think I got as far as Kos, or I got as far as Dubrovnik, and I never continued that. Life, man. That's all I can say. I probably won't, to be honest, I probably won't continue that. P3D version 5.4, 5.3 for me. Hey, Bearded Toad, how you doing? P3D, to me, sadly, the performance I get in P3D versus this simulator, I just can't compare it anymore. And now A2A is in this simulator. I've got some A2A to fly now. I've got study level in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know that I'll be going back anytime soon unless... Well, no, I don't really know. I mean, there's things like the Dash 8 Q400 that you just can't beat. But, sooner or later, that's going to be here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I'm in the very twilight months of using P3D now that this has hit Microsoft Flight Simulator. A2A are now going to be ramping up their releases in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think that's where I'm going to be. I know the diehards and the naysayers and etc. People like to throw as much muck at this simulator platform as they can, but I'm happy. So and that's it's different for everyone. Well, no, I meant with this aircraft in just a throwback. Oh, I see. Okay, Daniel. Yeah, I could do that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, I mean. with the Comanche, I am definitely planning on doing a lot of flying, both UK regional and in other countries as well. I was thinking of doing a Norwegian tour. I could do a European tour. I could do all sorts of things. I could go all sorts of places. So, yeah. I definitely mean to fly the backside off this thing and really make it my aircraft and see how it behaves to the way I fly. And I think also I've already, in the 2 days I've been flying this, I've learnt more about how the engine behaves in the last 2 days than I have in, I have to say, years of learning how engines work. And the reason I say that is because I'm such a visual learner. I'm such a visual guy that when I see something happening physically, it's like a light bulb goes on. I'm like, oh, I'm not just reading that off a page. It's like, that's it working right there. And when you introduce a different temperature to it, or you cool it, or you heat it, that's what happens. It's like, oh, of course that's what happens. Yeah, that makes sense. And so I've learned things, and it's really to do with the maintenance tab here on the tablet. Now, before I touch the maintenance tab, I will tell you, I think I've found some sort of a weird bug, it may be, or some sort of a memory leak, where the longer you have the simulator open, the more laggy the engine analyzer page makes your sim. So my FPS will drop to maybe 10 FPS or maybe even lower when I hit the maintenance tab, because I've had the simulator running from 6:30 this morning when I took off in Nook all the way to now, which is almost 12 hours. This is what, going on 11 hours I've had this aircraft loaded up and flying in the sim. So in terms of a long haul stress test, this is probably as much as you can do. And for general regional flights that only take a couple of hours, it's not really noticeable. But it's when you hit 4 hours plus in the Comanche, maybe 5 hours plus, 4 hours plus, you start to notice that FPS drop. So having said that, I'm going to click the button. There you go. And you see all of a sudden it looks like the aircraft has more turbulence happening. And I think it's because the turbulence, or the AccuSim turbulence physics that are dynamically being calculated, somehow it's tied to the FPS. And so when the FPS drops, all of a sudden the aircraft looks and feels like it's hit more turbulence. Anyway, if I zoom in, that's the engine analyzer. Like I say, when you first load up the sim, you'll never notice this. It will appear perfectly smooth. So I'm going to open a technical tab in the forums about this and see what people say. Anyway, the way this is done, it's like night and day. I've learned so much so quickly from this. Here you have the manifold. You have the outside air temperature, -13 Celsius. You have that coming into the manifold, being squeezed into that space. Fuel is being sprayed into that manifold in a vapor, like a mist. It's being sprayed in and it's misting, so it's mixing tiny droplets of fuel in with the oxygen and the air, and then it's going into the engine, into the pistons. So you've got your CAT, your carburetor air temperature, is -14. Your manifold pressure is 16 inches. And you've got your outside air temperature of -13. Now, when you hit moisture in the air, when you go into a cloud and you're below freezing, all of a sudden it graphically shows you ice actually building graphically on that diagram there. And all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that's so cool. And I properly iced up the carburetor, as you can imagine, over Goose Bay, as you do. And my manifold pressure all of a sudden started dropping. And in the old Comanche in P3D version 5, you wouldn't see the engine analyzer. You wouldn't see any of this. You wouldn't be able to cheat like this. You would just see the manifold pressure drop, and you would whack in some carb heat and then the manifold pressure would come up, and you'd be like, oh, okay, that was what the problem was. And then you turn off the carb heat, because you only need the carb heat like 5-10 seconds at most to clear that ice, and then it's clean again. But when you physically see this diagram working, all of a sudden you gain an appreciation for just how much icing happens, exactly when the icing begins and exactly when the icing ends. Same thing with the mixture setting. Let me pause to take a cup of swig of tea because I'm talking a lot. Hello, Aqua Vital. Nectar of the gods. So with the mixture, these little bands, these little coloured tabs, there's a green one, orange one, or yellowish. Green one, slightly less green. These little tabs show you the mixture. So when you push your mixture full forward, full rich, they go like a really dark, muddy orange color, and that means it's over-riched. It's max rich. It's full rich. When you pull the mixture back, it goes through the color band from that dark, muddy orange to normal orange color, and that is your best power setting for your mixture. Then, if you continue to pull it, it goes into the green band, and as you can see, I've got it set for optimum efficiency, which is the green band. And then you continue to pull it, and it eventually goes to the blue band, which is so lean that it's basically just oxygen coming into the cylinders. But what's the really cool thing here, because they've modeled each individual cylinder, what you're seeing is the air coming in, the propellers up at the top, the air coming in to the front of the engine, because it's air-cooled. Yes, it's air-cooled. The front cylinders get most of the cooling. And the back two cylinders get the least cooling, because by the time the air has hit those front four cylinders, the air is decelerated and has less cooling effect. There's less temperature translation from the cylinder into the atmosphere. So the back two cylinders are always the hottest. Now, no one's told me that. Really, no one's told me that. But just physically looking at it and going, why does that do that? And you think, that's what it must be. That's my working hypothesis. So, I mean, I've been on this page long enough. I'm going to just click back. And if you see immediately, the second I click back to another page, the sim is smooth again. So, the air that's coming into the air intakes, up here and here, is hitting, I mean, you can visually see the first two front cylinders through the propeller, particularly when you're doing your walk around. Those two cylinders will always be the coolest because they get the brunt of the airflow. The back two cylinders, logic dictates that they won't be as cooled as much. Excuse me. Right, where are we? This is Campbelltown. This is Campbelltown Aerodrome here, which we're just coming to the VOR 1600. So let's tune up 1600 and turn on track IR and get this show on the road. There we go. Oh, actually, if I just do that and then I reset maybe I reset position. There you go. Okay. So what was I going to do? 16.0 is in the box, but whenever I press this button, it doesn't have any radial information. So I'm going to go back to what I was, and I'm going to go to the next VOR in front, which is going to be Wolsey, which is 1410. Tune out Wolsey, and we're not in range of it yet, so we're just gonna have to continue flying on this. Let's turn heading 145. I know that we should be 145 inbound to Wolsey, So that's 150. I'll go there, 145. So, yeah, that's okay. Let's go flight info. You can see we've got a tailwind here. I love this tablet. The only issue for the tablet for me is the engine analyzer page. Apart from that, I just love the tablet. So you've got all sorts of helpful information. Because of our good tailwind we've had today, this is a 1,000 nautical mile flight. We've still got 684 nautical miles worth of range in the tanks. It's just so cool. So really what it is it's the Comanche of old. It really is the Comanche of old. If you knew it in P3D, then you're so comfortable. You feel like you don't have to learn it as such. It's like it was. You feel at home. But there's certain things in the Microsoft Flight Simulator version here, like the tablet, the engine meter, the electronic display for your engine parameters, which is all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it just adds something that I just never had before. I've not added the GTN 750 to it yet. I have the PMS GTN 750. But I haven't fitted it yet because I'm flying this as it would have come out of the factory in the 70s without a GPS for the moment. I might add, you know what, I might grab a secondary Comanche in a different livery, and I might hit the used button on the maintenance tab if I go to airframe, I think. Yeah, as soon as you load up a new airframe, you can hit the used or the auction tab, which immediately give you an aircraft. It just randomizes everything and it gives you an aircraft of a certain age that would be typical for buying a second-hand Comanche. So I might do that and add the GTN 750 to it and use it, say, on the west coast of the US or something like that. Let's just go back to that page. Goat Friend, front cylinders are also more prone to crack in cold temperature descents when you hit the throttle again and heat cylinders too fast. Yes, Goat Friend, thank you. I've heard about this. I was reading about this afternoon. Cylinder head cracks. I was reading, actually, if you go to the manual for the EGM, I think it's the EGM it's called. Let me just double check. Yes, the EDM 730. That's what we're looking at, that panel. The EDM 730. I've downloaded the EDM 730 manual, and I was reading through it, and I heard that it mentioned about that. So if I go to performance, I'm just pulling up the charts, the performance charts for the Comanche. I do like the fact that, if I just pull this over, now I remember this chart in particular years ago when the Comanche first came out for P3D. I remember this specific chart, and I used it to do my ferry flights just as I'm doing now. But it's lovely to see that they've updated these charts to proper high resolution, so you can zoom in and you can see these in full detail. I remember the previous ones, there were a lot lower resolution, so you'd zoom in and it wasn't as easy to read. But essentially what we're doing, we're up at flight level 150, which is right up here, and we've tuned to 50% power. I think that's what we're on. We're not quite at 40% power, which would give us a range of 1,700 miles, which is horrendous. But essentially, I am at the peak. I'm pretty sure I'm at the peak efficiency. Haven't seen anything this flexible and customizable in Microsoft Flight Simulator. No, Aquavital. I didn't ever expect that we would until A2A came into the scene. And now that it is, I mean, this is the thing with A2A, is that you can just rely on it. You could just rely on them to just give you the best. I mean, that I'm not going to say any more than that. Like, that's like, what else do you say? Like, it is definitively the best. I mean, yes, you've got PMDG. The PMDG 737 is the holy grail of the commercial world, but do they do this? Do they do dynamic, complex engine weathering and engine aging of every single component in the engine. No, they don't, because they're dealing with turbofans. I understand, but there's a lot more I think that PMDG could do on the operational side of how do you maintain these aircraft, these big commercial beasts. What kind of maintenance schedules do they need to keep them running and in the air? So yeah, you know, A2A has taken 2 years out of developing an aircraft. They had this 2 years ago. Well, I mean, they could have had this within a few months. They genuinely could have had this in our hands 6 months after Microsoft Flight Simulator first dropped. What was it, 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, however long this has been out now? But they didn't. They buckled down. They worked on their military contracts. They weathered they were in it for the long term, and now they've got a physics system running behind the sim that is just blows the Microsoft Flight Simulator aerodynamics and physics out of the water. And now they can go and plug in all the other aircraft that they have in their hangar into the new AccuSim 2.0 Merlin physics, which is brilliant. Almost 3, yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm just so happy that this is here. I'm just so happy that this is here now, and I'm just looking forward so much to flying this. Just flying and flying and flying. Let's double check. Yeah, we're on 1410, and we've still not picked up the VOR. But that will show the nautical mile readout. You just flip this knob here from the frequency to the distance to the glide slope in knots, GS. I think maybe that's ground speed. Oh no, that's ground speed towards or away from the VOR. That's a very accurate ground speed meter. How many minutes to getting to it and hold? I can't remember. Nautical miles hold. I'm not sure what that one is, but I know the distance function is very helpful. Right. So we're going to be picking up some VATSIM. We're going to be picking up some VATSIM for the inbound into Shoreham. So let me just I'm just going to have a look at some charts here while I also post oh no, wrong one. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Right. I can't. How can? Hang on. I am confused. I am confused. Ah, no. Switching filters. Switch now. Ah, okay. Weird. Facebook. There we go. Right. There we go. Clean that up. Get that sorted. Right. So we bring over VATSIM. Here we are. Inbound, we've got approach Ronald's Way radar, and then we've got London North. I think that's London North. Yeah, it's London North. We're going to hit London North. We've got full London. Then we've got London Control. We've got each sector broken down for us. And then London South Control, which is great. We've got Gatwick's going to be fully staffed. Well, not fully staffed, but almost fully staffed. Yeah, lots of things going on in southern England, which is going to be great. Concorde going out, everything. So we're going to be coming down through all of this busyness, which is always fun to be busy on VATSIM. Let me just clean up my... Hold functions is if you want to keep DME from one VOR, but have a different VOR on the HSI. Ah, cool. PMDG have a maintenance menu, but I have no idea what's inside. Probably it's something to do with failures, but these also are also either manually configured or either randomly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've got the PMDG 737. You can set function failures to happen realistically, but they never do. I've never in my life had a PMDG failure of any system in any of their aircraft. It's like, well, do I fly it every day? No, but like I've had it for years in both P3D and MSFS. So yeah, I love seeing contrails. I just love seeing other people in the world contrailing above me while I'm down here in my vintage airliners and my GAs. PMDG failures are time and random based. Okay. Yeah, so the VOR's just come in, 119 nautical miles. Let us tune the VOR. The course should be 145. Which is there. So I'm going to go to high track and let the aircraft do its own little thing. Inbound very nicely. Yeah, we've got a Ryanair climbing up behind us. What have we got going on? Trim down slightly. Okay. Talking about my power setting. Let's go back to my charts. Yes, here we go. Now, unfortunately, in this view, I can't turn it 90 degrees. I can't angle it differently. But for 15,000 feet, I can be, if I want to let's see, 55% power, approximately 10.3 gallons per hour, at an RPM of 2400 and a manifold of 16.3. Those are my settings to get 55% rated power, right? The one thing I don't understand about this yet is that when I set those settings exactly, there's my 10.3 or my 10.1, I'm only getting 50% net power, not 55%. So that doesn't quite match up for me. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The real fun will come in the winter when you'll have to use a preheater, or else you'll be stuck on the ground for hours. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, plugging in the old engine heater. I mean, up in Nook last night, I've definitely plugged in the engine heater. You can be assured, or else I wouldn't be getting back home by today. Is there an oxygen or pressurization system in this aircraft? No, there is not. So no, there is not. There is no pressurization in the Comanche. So to do a ferry flight such as this, you would have to be on oxygen yourself, on a tank, on a bottle of oxygen with a little nose thingy, a little nose breather. I've seen on YouTube videos of people doing ferry flights such as this. That is what they all do to do these long haul cruises in these small aircraft, because they just need to fly the aircraft at the most efficient envelope possible, and the only way they can do that is to fly it up where they can't breathe, so they bring oxygen with them. That's what I have been informed. Have you calculated your density altitude? No, no, no. I've essentially gone off the chart, which says just to guess, you have to use your density altitude when using those graphs. Oh, sorry. Let's go grab that again. So, I wish I could turn it on its side, because that would be helpful. But alas, I cannot. I'll just have to pause track IR. Pressure altitude, sea level, all the way up to 15,000. Best economy. No, that's not right. I remember this. I remember this now. I think density altitude is in the tablet somewhere. I think it's something to do with the temperature at the altitude that you're at. This graph, this chart, is based off of it being a specific temperature at the altitude you've chosen. And if it's not, then that's going to affect it. I think that might be one of my issues. Okay, right, so it could be in the tablet. Density altitude is in the tablet somewhere. Alright, let's go have a look. Controls, no. And every time I click to a new tab, the aircraft bounces up and down as if the aerodynamic modeling like glitches slightly as it transitions. It's weird. Surely there's a random website to calculate it. Probably. I mean, to be honest, I'm happy chilling up at 50% rated power. I'm happy to chill at 50% power. Like I'm not horrendously out of. Should be on flight info if anything. Yeah, well, environment. No, outside air temperature. That's as much as QNH 1015. No, not really. Not sure. Checklists. Cruise checklist. You know, yeah. Verify the emergencies. Not done any of the emergencies yet, but I'm looking forward to that. That would be cool. Download the PDF, open it in Acrobat, and rotate it there. Well, you see, yeah. I was just about to object, but then I realised I did actually have Acrobat. I was like, yeah, but I don't have Acrobat installed. It's like, actually I do. Thanks, mate. Yeah. Just pull this over. Comanche Pilot. Open with Adobe Acrobat. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, there's Scott. Look at that. Hey, Scott. Great shot. That's a fantastic photo. Like, I'm a photographer, and that's a good photo. Right. Yeah, you see, this is where it's at, guys. Adobe Acrobat for the win. Yeah, you see, now I need to zoom in, and then I go. I used to know how to do this. Nope. That's why I have not done this. Saves a lot. This is the free version of Adobe Acrobat, and the free version doesn't let you rotate stuff, does it? Because it's Adobe. Because Adobe are like that, and that's why they're losing customers. But there we go. Yeah, I used to use Adobe, you know, in university, in film and TV production. Adobe was king, but they went from CS6 to CC, and then they basically demanded your mortgage from you every year. So, yeah. So now you learn to use other things like DaVinci Resolve, which is free and better. So, no salt here. So 94 nautical miles inbound. We're on the VOR. We're on the radial, so we're all good. Screenshot it and paste it into Paint, then rotate it. Dude, like, I mean, there's levels that I could go to, but I'm just not willing to go to that yet. Yeah. Oh, yes. By the way, for my birthday, my wife got me what she knew I'd want, which is a mug that's essentially the size of my skull. This is massive. I'm finally drinking from something that is big enough to actually hold as much as I want it to. So, thanks, love. Right. Yes, I've had the gear switch in tension this entire time. Apologies. I don't know if that's a deal. I don't think that hydraulically keeps it... I don't know if that is bad for the hydraulics or the electric system to have the gear switch up, even though you're not pulling it up any more than you can already. But there we go. So, let's just double check. Won't be long now until we hit London North, which is 133.7. So I'm going to go to 133.7 on standby. .133.7 set on standby. Now, what I could do, this is cool. 133.
Jet 2537.
Now, if I have COM1...
Station calling you, sound like you're out.
I don't know why that's... Oh, no, it's on both. It says both. Yeah, so if I have that set 133.7, it won't come through until I go to COM2. And now I'm listening to COM2. If I hit the both button, then I would listen to both of them. Which would be cool. I mean, you can monitor both at the same time. It might get quite... I'll hit both, just to see how it goes. So we're monitoring Unicom and our upcoming...
Bearings 19 Papa Foxtrot, contact line of control on 127.1. Bye-bye.
Little bit loud.
Contact 127.
There was a guy up in Iceland who was talking on the radio really quietly earlier on today, and that's why I had it turned up.
Evelyn 3 Juliet Lima. Turn left, fly heading 190 degrees.
This is an excess size of German Australian beer cup. Yes, I've got a couple of bigger ones at home. Aqua Vital? I don't believe you. I don't believe you have a mug as big as mine. I need visual proof. Go onto my Discord and send me a photo, please. I demand photos of this apparently bigger mug. I mean, it's kind of hard to like directly give it a reference of size. 1 liter. 1 liter. Good gracious, man. I don't think this is 1 liter.
November, thank you. Climb now. Flight level 28.
I'll have to measure it. I'll have to get like a 1 liter bottle and then pour water into it, and I'll have to let you know. Hit me up on Discord and I'll do that test and see.
Houston on Upper Gulf, descend flight level 180, expect vectors for a straight approach runway 23.
See, our main tanks are only. Well, no, actually, we've not even bled half of our main tanks yet. We've bled our tip tanks, but we're still more than half in our mains. Yes, deal. Good.
EZ678 Juliet, roger, taxi to holding point Delta 1 for runway 32.
Delta 132, 678 Juliet.
I don't know where he's...
Good afternoon, EZ35 Echo Bravo, flight level 350, inbound Subic.
EZ35 Echo Bravo, London, good evening. District 1 Golf arrival for Gatters and Squawk 0507.
District 1 Golf arrival and Squawk 0507 is 35 Echo Bravo.
35 Echo Bravo. Right, I need my paper and pencil.
November Charlie, continue with Unicom, good evening.
Continue with Unicom 122.8, thank you very much for the ATC.
Airballoon 3 Juliet Lima, descend to altitude 3,500 feet, cleared ILS approach runway 23 right.
Descend 3,500, cleared ILS, runway 23 right, Airballoon 3 Juliet Lima, thanks.
So, estimated hour and 37 minutes to landing.
347 for 370, 13 miles from Baymet.
Top Baker 720 London, good evening, Squawk 0504.
So, it is the Isle of Man. Yep, the Isle of Man
720
on our right hand side.
04.
And we've got ourselves some traffic actually. Is it?
EZ778, flight level 210.
I think it's just down there.
EZ778.
Yeah, I think the airport is down there.
Flight level 140.
Descend flight level 140, EZ778.
So yeah, all's good. All is good.
Echo Golf 777 holding short of Kilo.
Kilo Echo Golf 777, taxi to holding point Golf for runway 27.
Holding point Golf 27, Kilo Echo Golf 777. Portugal 440 with you, flight level 50.
Portugal 443, London, good evening. Fly now, flight level 1900.
Climb 110, flight like Portugal 46.
Portugal 443, negative, flight level 190.
190, sorry about that, Portugal 443. Airballoon 3 Juliet Lima has no speed restrictions, is this correct?
Airballoon 33 Juliet Lima, AFIRM is no ATC speed.
Thank you.
Do you have another hour or so to destination? Yes. So, hour and 36 minutes to destination. Actually, if I have a look. ETA 1816 Zulu, which is 876 615 Zulu. Yeah, so up at the top of the screen you should have the ETA, my departure and my destination, call sign, aircraft, altitude, ground speed, heading, and vertical speed. And that is provided by Fly Live Studio? Fly Live Studio, correct. Yeah, it's free. I'm happy with it. Seems to do the job. So yeah, so I have not. So I've got 20 hours. So I've just passed.
Holding short of 27.
Just past 20 hours now on the airframe. And I've not done an engine inspection. I've not done anything. But I am probably going to. I'm probably going to do an engine inspection once I hit Shoreham. Because if Shoreham's going to be my home base, it makes sense to. It makes sense. It makes sense just to double check the health and any potential issues that may have popped up during the ferry flight. But since it was literally brand new from the factory in Lockhaven early yesterday morning, I still can't believe, I genuinely can't believe I've done that much flying in 2 days. It's because I mean, I didn't cheat, but I suppose I cheated. I am now working from home, which means that while I'm at work, I can also fly. Which means I can do all sorts of long hauls, all sorts of things. It's just that I mostly do them offline. But these legs I did online because there is no ATC up there, so I was online on VATSIM anyway. So if I go to aircraft, if I go to aircraft and have a look, 3 flights already in the bag. Right, so this is what I've done. So from Lockhaven to Goose Bay to Nuuk to Reykjavik or Keflavik, and now I'm doing the last leg. So that is, so far, let's see, let me just click on this one. When did I do this one? Flights. If I just do this. Flights. The 19th of July. When did I start? Stats. Essentially 5:30 Zulu. So 6:30 in the morning I started. Yesterday 6:30 in the morning from Lockhaven and flew to Goose Bay, which was, oh, hello, just over 1,000 nautical mile leg. Yesterday. And then I finished that one off yesterday afternoon, and then this morning I went from Nuuk to here, and now this afternoon I'm doing here to here. So far, I've done 2,000, just over 2,400 nautical miles in 3 flights in yesterday and today, which I'm happy with. I don't think you could physically do a real life ferry flight any faster than that. In real life, I don't think you could, really. Someone followed me and I didn't see who it was. I apologize. Ah, there we go. Javon. Hello, sir. Welcome. By the way, the Rotorhead server has moved to Persian Gulf, so if you ever want to drop some Hellfires on top of some red tanks, yes, Marvin, I would. I would. Yes, I would. We need to talk. It's been a while. It's been too long. Goat friend, kind of jealous you had the smart idea to pick it up from Lockhaven, but I don't. But I didn't. Have about 13 hours on mine now, but want to start over knowing what you did. Yeah, I mean, I had the idea a while back. What I did, if I go and show this to you again, if I go aircraft, and I go over to Lockhaven, I've actually got the Beechcraft Baron, what is it called? Black Square Beechcraft Baron twin, and I took off from Alderney and flew up to Reykjavik or Keflavik, and then over to Nuuk, and then over to Goose Bay, and then down. So I essentially did, I flew myself over there to pick up the Comanche, and now I'm flying the Comanche back. And then the Beechcraft Baron, I'll either fly it back or I'll just continue flying in the continental US. So I physically had to get myself to Lockhaven to then pick it up and then come back. That's how I thought about that. Right, we're getting closer to our actually, Scottish Controls just come on, or Antrim. It is Scottish Control. Oh no, but he's 119. He's 199.998. So he's not an actual proper frequency until he changes that, because that's not a frequency you can tune to. So I don't know what he's doing. He'll message us if he wants us. Yeah. Let's just look at that. Okay. It has got myself a new HOTAS in the meantime. Nice. I think you said you were going to do this in every single live stream since they announced the Comanche. Ah. Probably. Probably. Knowing me. Yes. Knowing me. But it's so funny because I remember when the Comanche was released for P3D, which I think it was about 2017. I remember doing these ferry flights from Nuuk to Keflavik, and then Keflavik to the Faroe Islands. I was having some trouble. I was in a very bad headwind, and I didn't think I'd make it to the UK, so I diverted to the Faroe Islands, and then I took off again, and I flew to Torp Sandefjord in southern Norway, and I ended it there. I called it there. But I remember doing that, and if you go to this live stream I'm doing right now, I've selected in the playlists, if you go to my A2A Simulations Comanche playlist, this live stream is going in my Comanche playlist. So if you go to the playlist, you'll see a history of every single Comanche video I've ever done, from it when it was released in 2017 up until this new release. So makes me wish DCS had larger maps. The C10, the C101 is a very fun cross-country jet in DCS. Yes, the C101. The C101. The C101. Is that the freeware? You're not talking about the freeware Hercules, are you? Maybe? I don't know. The C101. I don't know military designations as much, particularly modern military designations for aircraft. So I wouldn't know what the C101 is exactly, but no, the Aviojet little two-seater. Ah, yes, yes. Yeah. Same developer as the F1. Okay. Let's just double check. 50 nautical miles inbound. We are going to expect, actually, within 50 nautical miles, he's gonna give us some. Yeah, actually before 50 nautical miles, really. Scottish TMA or Antrim control. He's on 123.775, but he's not messaged me to say he wants me yet. Maybe he's only above flight level 245 or something. Just double check. No, this makes sense. Right, so in Volanta it shows the Scottish TMA as Class A here, but then in Simaware it shows it as here. Go figure. I mean, on this one it shows me as being in his airspace. On that one, like, I've never found a definitive interactive map of correct airspace boundaries. VATSIM is crap, but then again, it was probably made in the 90s. Simaware is quite modern. Volanta is quite good, but then, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Simaware breaks up the London zones very nicely. You see, that southern London zone has just gone off. But then it just shows a big blob here of the London south. So it's kind of like you end up monitoring like multiple, to actually get some sort of cohesive understanding of what's going on. So CCIP, what's that, lol? The CCIP. Yeah, no CCIP. Nah, no CCIPs. We don't really do CCIPs on this channel. We do steam gauges. That's what we love. I mean, to be honest, I love the Apache, and when I jump in DCS, you jump in DCS for what DCS offers. You don't jump into DCS for steam gauges. So obviously there's that, but Oh, but just give me a Stratocruiser any day of the week, please. Give me a Stratocruiser in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'll be sitting in it till Kingdom Come. The Stratocruiser in P3D version 3, it does test my patience so badly, because like I was genuinely doing I think it was Tuesday when the Comanche dropped. I was in the middle of a transatlantic Stratocruiser flight in P3D version 3, a 32-bit application, flying an AccuSim aircraft from, what was it, 2008. So that's how much I love that aircraft. It is my favorite A2A aircraft to date. There's nothing that tops the Stratocruiser for me. And when you fly any other piston, radial, or inline or radial, doesn't matter what you fly. If it's a non-jet aircraft, fly any non-jet aircraft, and then go and fly the Stratocruiser, and you will be very impressed with its performance. Its lifting power alone, its manifold pressure is obscene. It's amazing. I still get the urge to reinstall V3 just to fly my Concorde. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Marvin, like, I never ever picked up the Concorde. In all the years I've been flying, I've never picked up the Concorde, and not because I didn't want to. The reason I've never picked up the Concorde was because I knew that at some point FS Labs would update it to 64-bit. And P3D version 4 came along. No Concorde yet. P3D version 5 came along. No Concorde yet. P3D version 6 came along. Still no Concorde yet. But it will drop soon for 64-bit P3D, and it will come to Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. So once it drops for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I will be very tempted. But we'll have to see. I'm not as young as I was. I'm 33 years old, and I first started flight simming when I was... it's like 21. I've been flight simming over like 13, 14 years now. Civilian flight simming. I've been combat flight simming even longer. I've been combat flight simming since I was about 17. I started my simming life in Isle-2 Sturmovik 1946. And those were happy times. Those were happy times. Boyo, 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 those were happy times. Me and my little Bearcat and my Wildcats on the decks of carriers in the Pacific, and shooting up Zeros and Spitfires, and it was just lovely. I'm still longing and waiting for Isle-2 Great Battles platform to bring the Pacific Theater, as is everyone else, but I mean, yeah. We will do it one day. Maybe by the time they do it, DCS. I mean, they've got the Corsair coming out for DCS. They just need some good naval maps and some good naval aircraft carriers. And we need a Zero, obviously, which probably is on the way for DCS at some point. And we need to flesh out, World War II Pacific Theater in DCS. We've got good things coming. I think, am I right in saying the Wildcat? I think, is the Wildcat F6F coming to DCS? Did I hear that teased somewhere at some point? I'm not sure. You've been simming longer than I've been alive. Oh, you sweet summer child. Oh, you don't make me feel old. I'm not old. I'm in my prime. Fie, for shame. DCS needs to get engine done first. Engine done? What engine? It's already in the state of the engine is already pretty good. 64-bit. It's multi-threaded. It's, they just did a huge multi-threading update. when you say needs done first, what needs to be done more to it that hasn't been done already for me to enjoy an F6F Hellcat? Oh, hello, there we go. Right. The game is afoot. London North.
015.
5,000 feet, QNH 1015, shelter Romeo.
London Control, good afternoon. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you, flight level 150.
The Sons of 2 Tango, contact London Control on 127.1, bye-bye.
Lufthansa 2 Echo Tango, contact London Control on 127.1. Thank you, bye-bye.
Station, I stepped on, standby, break, Chanix 89er Tango Lima, London, via Mike 1, line up runway 23 right.
I did transmit, didn't I? I think he said last station, break. Last station, standby.
89er Tango Lima, via Mike 1, line up 23 right.
Yeah, I think he said last station, standby, break. Yeah.
Book a 29er 35, there's nothing further, continue with Unicom.
Book a 29er 35, switching Unicom, thanks for SK.
Speedbird 156, turn left, heading 165.
Okay, inbound to Wallasey, 26.5 nautical miles.
156, report you're heading to London Control on 127.
This is, in 26 nautical miles, this is going to be our first feet dry on over UK soil in the new Comanche in Microsoft Flight Simulator. After 20.8 hours of flying, we finally made it to the UK. To do more in-depth modelling, they need to utilise 4 or more. Okay. Multi-threading needs to be improved. It's still running on only 2 threads.
Okay, just wait for the full thing, please. Channel 43 Mike Alpha.
How did they do all that work for it only to still be running on 2 threads?
EZ 778, contact ground 121.850. Bye.
121.850, goodbye.
Their engine core is still 20 plus years old. Yeah, to be fair, a good. That's a lot of work, though. He is busy. He is busy. He hasn't even called me back, and I called him, 4 or 5 minutes ago. Let's just put the tablet down there. Oh yeah, by the way, did I tell you the tablet can move around the cockpit? Check this. Check this for A2A awesomeness, guys. This is attention to detail. This is my favorite thing about the Comanche. Right, when you have the tablet up at the top here, and you want to move the visor, watch.
Left 320, 3,500 feet and 180 knots, Chelsea Romeo.
That's attention to detail. When you move it over the yoke.
51 Mike Whiskey with you, directing Cobb, climbing 090.
2 stations, break, Logan 51 Mike Whiskey, London, good evening, climb flight level 110, Panel 1 Lima, arrival for Liverpool.
110, Panel 1 Lima, for,
it only goes,
Liverpool, 51 Mike Whiskey.
It only goes as high as this, and it only goes as far left as this, and as far right as that. And then you can put it down here, or you can put it down on the. You can put it down. That's kind of cool to just be able to look straight down like that. Actually, I might leave it on the seat in front of me.
260 cleared ILS 23 right, shut to Romeo.
EV tree, Niner Alpha Golf, turn left heading 090 degrees.
He's busy. Poor man.
43 Mike Alpha, descend to altitude 3,500 feet, QNH 1015.
He is busy.
Station calling Sagan, call finally.
France Soleil 907 Charlie Delta.
France Soleil 907 Charlie Delta, London, good evening, squawk 4244.
4244, France Soleil 907 Charlie Delta.
London shot to Romeo, would you like us to maintain 1
runway 23 right, you clear to land, the surface winds 280 degrees 10 knots.
Clear to level 823, right, ED62.
London Shuttle Romeo, would you like us to maintain 180 knots?
Shuttle 2 Romeo, a firm speed 170 knots until 5 DME.
170 knots till 5, Shuttle Romeo.
Shuttle 9 Delta, contact London Control on 127.1, bye-bye.
Over to London, 127.1, Shuttle 9 Delta. Have a good afternoon. Cheers.
CD56 Lima Kilo, route direct Mersey, speed 270 knots or greater.
Our direct Mercy, speed 270 or greater, easy 56 Lima Kilo.
Channel X43 Mike Alpha, speed 180 knots, turn left heading 320 degrees. Please wait for the full instruction. Channel X43 Mike Alpha, left turn 320 degrees, and descend to altitude 3,500 feet, speed 180.
Left turn heading 320 degrees, descend 3,500 feet, Channel X43.
Oh, there's the pilot's operating handbook, which you can't click on anymore because A2A simulations don't use 2D panels.
Easy 39 Alpha Golf, turn right heading to correction 140 degrees.
Right heading 140, easy 39 Alpha Golf.
Shuttle 2 Romeo, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, bye-bye.
Manchester Tower 118.625, Shuttle Romeo, bye-bye.
Ryanair 6905-9er, speed 250 knots or less, descend flight level 900.
250 left, descend flight level 90, Ryanair 6959.
Easy 56 Lima Kilo, descend flight level 80.
Also 80, easy 56 Lima Kilo.
5000, Channel X89 Tango Lima.
Channel X89 Tango Lima, thank you. Climb now, flight level 190.
Quite small for a pilot's operating handbook. Yes. Yes.
Mike Alpha, turn left heading 2.
Yes, I do agree with you there. That's worryingly small, isn't it? Yeah.
222, thank you. Contact ground 121850. Bye.
So,
11850, ED62, bye-bye.
Ryanair 68 Uniform Delta, USB.
our next VOR after this is Honolly, which is 1365.
Ryanair 68 Uniform Delta, contact tower 118.4625.
11865.
Set on standby, nav 1 standby.
5 Alpha Golf, turn right heading 270 degrees.
And that's a heading of 140. So I will tune 140 outbound, and we'll use Wolsey outbound tracking for half of the way, and then we'll swap over to Honolly.
Kilo Echo Golf 777, turn right heading 140
Oh,
degrees.
I've actually got
140 degrees, Kilo Echo Golf.
I've got a Ryanair inbound Wolsey off my right hand side, relatively same altitude as me. He's now below me though.
Skyway 2521, route direct Massop.
There he is.
Redirect.
There he is.
Skyway 2521.
Easy 56 Lima Kilo, turn right, fly heading 060 degrees. Expected
Can see his strobes.
Alright, right, heading 060 degrees, expected ILS 23 left, easy 56 Lima Kilo.
Negative, ILS 23 right.
23 right, easy 56 Lima Kilo.
Keep an eye on him.
Easy 39er Alpha Golf, when established on the localizer runway 22 right.
I mean, he can see me. He can see me on TCAS. I would be able to see him on TCAS if I had my GTN 750, but
X43 Mike Alpha.
alas, it's the 70s apparently. So
11865, thank you for service, bye-bye.
And I think it was Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo checking in.
A firm with you.
Golf Lima India Charlie correction, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo London, good evening. Just report your level for me and squawk 7014.
Level, flight level 150, and we'll squawk 7014, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
2008 Mike, maintain flight level 230.
China 78 Mike London, good evening. Squawk 3525. It's the Honolulu 1 Charlie arrival for city.
Set on alt. We could.
2525. Hotel.
I won't hit the I won't hit the ident unless he wants me to. So.
China 89er Tango Lima, contact London Control on 127.1. Bye bye.
Why is it getting colder?
127.
Oh no, it's getting hotter. Okay.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Kilo Echo Golf 777, descend to altitude 3,500 feet, QNH is 1015.
8 mile coming from landing Bombay.
Right, trying 78 Mike, I don't cover cities.
Okay, going over to heading hold.
Kilo Echo Golf 777, descend to altitude 3,500 feet, the QNH 1015.
There's Liverpool. We'll have to go to Liverpool soon in the sim, and then Manchester's. I think that's Manchester over there. Oh, there's a Strobes. There's Manchester. There's Liverpool. What is the alpaca call sign? I've never heard of that airline.
1226, continuous Unicom, bye-bye.
Unicom for Lufthansa 1226, Charles Massey.
Easy 56 Lima Kilo, speed 220 knots or greater, descend flight level 60.
Alright, speed 220 knots or greater, descend flight level 60, easy 56 Lima Kilo.
Ryanair 69er, 59er.
Okay, we've got about an hour and 9 minutes to Shoreham. So should be landing in Shoreham 7:20 p.m. It's a virtual airline. You see, I thought it was a virtual airline. I thought it was. I just wasn't sure. But thank you for confirming, Bearded Toad. I do like Liverpool. I love the VFR approach and departure corridor along the waterfront for Liverpool. We must go and do that soon on VATSIM. I have to come up from Shoreham one day to Liverpool.
Easy 475 X-ray with me.
Flight deck to Sims, yeah. It's flight deck to Sims, yeah. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, when I see him stream, he's always doing alpaca call signs, and I've never heard of it in real life. I thought maybe it was fake, so. Ah, thank you, Pavaj. Yeah.
Cheers, break. Kilo Echo Golf 777. Turn right heading 200 degrees. Cleared ILS approach 23 right.
Okay, so we're now 3.7 nautical miles over the VOR. And the VOR should now be 140, I think it was. Let me just double check. Yeah, 140 magnetic.
Thunder 30 Hotel London Control. Welcome back. It's going to be the the Elvas 1 Mike arrival for Manchester.
Let's just drift onto the needle.
If I'm able to insert it in my FMC.
Heading course. Course is 140 set.
30 Hotel. No worries. In that case, just continue present heading.
Selected 144, and it's yeah. So we'll just drift onto that needle, and then in time, when that straightens out a bit, we'll just hit nav hold again. All good. All is present and correct, sir.
Level 190, Ryanair 68 uniform Delta.
Kilo Echo Golf Checkers Ryan established.
Kilo Echo Golf 777, thank you. Continue approach.
London Control, level EC47 Mike, X-ray to flight level 200, Elbos 1 Mike.
Easy 475 X-ray London, descend flight level 100 and fly heading 320 degrees. It's going to be delayed vectors for the ILS.
Out towards Anglesey and Snowdon and Wales, out that way.
Heading,
Welsh Pool.
Flight level 100 and vectors 2.
All the fun places.
EC475 X-ray.
Negative 23 right, break, Logan 51 Mike Whiskey, descend flight level 60.
And down 60, 51 Mac Whiskey.
Easy 56 Lima Kilo, you're going to be following a 172 on approach, so there's no ATC speed restriction and there'll be slightly delayed vectors.
Roger, 56 Lima Kilo.
Comjet 636, continuous Unicom, bye-bye.
Going to Unicom, Comjet 636, thank you.
Lufthansa 30 Hotel, descend flight level 80.
Descending flight level 80, on which runway to expect?
It's going to be runway 23 right, break, Kilo Echo Golf 777. Give me the best speed you can on the approach, contact town 118.625, bye.
118.625, I'll try my best. Thanks so much, bye-bye, Kilo Echo Golf.
Cheers.
London, Logan Air 51 Mike Whiskey. Just for information, we do have a problem with our ILS equipment, so if possible, we could take the RNAV for 27.
Logan 51 Mike Whiskey.
Yeah,
left, heading 10.
I'm not a fan of the livery. I'm not a fan of the livery. It's yeah.
Vectors for the RMP. Just say heading once more.
It just doesn't look like a real world livery would.
And 100.
It's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame to really to be at a good level of realism and immersion, and then you have something that looks quite fake. But that's just my opinion.
1 Lima Lima London, climb now, flight level 190.
Climbing 190 for Lufthansa 1 Lima Lima.
The one aircraft I've been very, very tempted by is the new Just Flight Fokker F-28 Fellowship. That's very steam gaugey, very analog, very, again, 70s. And I would like to get it. I just don't want to get it right now. Need to save up for it for a bit. So.
We're heading 190 degrees, easy 561 kilo.
London, good evening, Fairline 9812 with you at flight level 390.
Fairline 9812, London, good evening. It's the ORTAC, actually disregard. Roger.
Let's go to nav hold now.
Right, 68 uniform dial, contact London Control 1127.1.
Thankfully, I've not really hit much icing this leg. I did hit some icing. See, when did I hit icing? I hit icing over.
Descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1015. When established on the localizer, 23 right, descend on the glide.
I hit some, yeah, the Labrador Sea. I hit some icing up in here, which isn't fun. It's not fun in an aircraft that has no de-icing boots or de-icing equipment. All you have is windshield defrost, and that's it. Yeah.
7 Victor Golf, London.
So.
Just check you got a sim rate of 1, please. Scorp 2176.
But as long as, I mean, it's negative 12 up here, and there's obviously going to be some moisture that we're going to have to descend through to get down to the lower levels. But as you're descending down through it, if the ice begins building, at least you're descending down to positive temperatures at a good speed of descent. So that's probably the best situation to have icing in, as opposed to being in a long cruise over the ocean and picking up icing. That's when you really start having problems. But I'm glad I'm in a sim where icing is a much more is an actual deal now. You know, particularly with this carburetor icing modeling, it's just so much more realistic and prevalent now. So I'm happy with that.
127, this is 1 Control, and 1 Lima Lima. Have a nice day.
P2 break, Channex 508, descent flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130, Channex 50.
London, good evening, easy 3053 with you, passing 200 for 250.
3053 London, good evening, climb flight level 370.
So we've got 1 hour dead. So landing time is in 1 hour's time. So if you want to, you know, head off and grab some food, come back, grab a drink, just chill for a bit. We've got 1 hour until our scheduled landing. Now that we've only got an hour away from landing, let's just go and start prepping some charts.
Center pipe 20A at level cold pipe Comanche 250 with information Charlie QNH 1015 requesting startup for West BFR departure.
Ooh.
208 London now.
Yeah, that's a previous leg. Unload that.
Approved QNH 1015.
Thompson 1 Papa Kilo with you.
Jet 1 Papa Kilo, London, good evening. Climb now, flight level 240.
Climb 240, 1 Papa Kilo.
So.
November
095.
Okay, so we've got RNAVs, which
475 X-ray, turn right heading 100 degrees.
we can't fly RNAVs. Well, no.
51 Mike Whiskey, turn left heading 085, descend to altitude 2,500 feet.
We can't fly our navs. We're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be visual.
085 and 2,500. Logan Air 51 Mike Whiskey.
Easy 560 Kilo number 1, contact tower 118.625. Bye-bye.
Number 1, tower 118.625, thank you.
RNP, yeah, RNPs. I can't fly those, sadly. It's just going to have to be cancel IFR flight plan, go into the visual circuit.
Charlie Victor London. Hello, climb now, flight level 1.
Until I get a GTN 750, I can't fly those approaches, sadly. We'll figure it out.
Ryanair 6905.
We'll be okay.
Left heading 065.
We'll land before sunset, obviously, because of the time of year. So we're all good.
Right heading 010, Lufthansa 30.
Easy 475 X-ray, turn right heading 160 degrees.
160, easy 475
So,
X-ray.
based on my profile in SimBrief, I should probably start descending just after Compton.
4000 feet, 1015, Ryanair 6959.
Yeah, just after Compton. About 500 feet per minute, just after Compton.
220 knots or less, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1015.
200 speed 200 knots or less, descending 5,000 feet on the QNH 1015 for
Easy 475 X-ray, descend to altitude 3,500 feet.
3,500 BC 475 X-ray.
Ryanair 6959er, turn right heading 100 degrees.
Apparently all of the London ATC just literally up and disappeared all in one go. So when this looked quite populated, it's all on Unicom. So, but we'll have ATC, you know, for a ways longer until they disappear.
51 Mike Whiskey, turn right heading 180 degrees.
Right, turn 180, 51 Mike Whiskey.
Easy 475 X-ray, turn right heading 200 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 23 right.
200 degrees, cleared ILS 23 right, easy 475 X-ray.
Easy 475 X-ray, speed 170 knots or greater until flight DME.
170 to 5 easy 475 X-ray.
Easy 69er, 59er, speed 180 knots.
Was that Ryanair 6959?
Sorry, Ryanair 69er, 59er, speed 180 knots.
180 knots, Ryanair 6959, no problem.
China Southern 8 Mike, contact landing control on 127.
I'm really happy that I decided to do this way, rather than start the Comanche on YouTube from some random place. From the very get-go, I was like, right, I'll pick it up from Lockhaven, I'll fly myself over to Lockhaven, pick up the Comanche, fly it back, and now I have the Comanche.
London Control, speed of 195 kilo, sorry for the late transition. We are at 5,000 on the number 1 runway.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Break, Logan, 51 Mike Whiskey, turn right heading 290 degrees.
What on earth?
Cleared for the RNP, cleared RNP approach, runway 27.
290, cleared RMP 27, Logan 51 Mike Whiskey.
Ryanair 69er, 59er, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, speed 170 knots until 5 feet.
I've just noticed on the left-hand side of my screen, I've got what looks like a very subtle watermark on the backlit display. Strange. It's not very noticeable, so it's fine.
190 for a speed of 195
For goodness sake, could he turn himself down?
Ryanair 69er, 59er, turn right heading 200 degrees, cleared ILS approach, 23 right.
Right 200, cleared ILS 23 right, Ryanair 6959.
Lufthansa 30 Hotel, turn left heading 270 degrees.
Left heading 270 degrees, Lufthansa 30.
Display burn-in? Yeah, it's very faint. Like, it's very faint. It's only whenever I look at
And Lufthansa 30 Hotel,
objects.
When established on the localizer for runway 23.
It's only whenever I'm looking at, like, objects that are one solid color. that I can pick out that outline. It's a very faint, it starts where my mouse cursor is, just kind of in this kind of angle down there.
27 clear to land, Logan 5-1 Mike Whiskey.
I can tell it's not part of the sim because it moves with the screen.
175, speedboat 19 Papa Kilo.
Goodness sake. Yeah, it's not distracting or anything. When it's not distracting, I can't even see it in my peripheral vision. It's only in very bright environments that I can actually see it. So when I look at the clouds.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, turn right, fly heading 170 degrees.
Turn right heading 170 degrees, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
London Control, using 56 Lima Kilo with you again, 4,000.
56 Lima Kilo London, Roger. Continue present heading, maintain altitude 4,000 feet. It's going to be vector Xylus 2 tree right.
Present heading, maintain 4,000, vector Xylus 2 tree right, using 56 Lima Kilo.
Caroline 90812, contact London Control on 127.1 below.
127.1 for Fairline 9812. Cheers for the coverage.
Oh, oh no.
69er, 59er, contact Manchester Tower on 118.625 below.
Tower Ryder 695.
Oh, it might have to do with the fact that I could be flying Microsoft Flight Simulator in windowed mode. I'm not sure. Anyway, what's he doing? Is he? He's just vectoring me off. I bet you it's because someone is coming thundering down behind me or something. Yeah, there's a speedbird climbing up behind me from below. He's kind of on my 6-7 o'clock low, climbing up towards me. Oh, that could be him there. That could be him there. He's probably just diverting me out the way.
Control good day, player 31, settle 390.
Player 31 London, good evening, route direct D-Bell.
Direct D-Bell, player 3.
101 Papa Kilo, contact Scottish Control on 135.850.
Control 135.850
oh, for goodness
for
sake.
speedbird 19 Papa Kilo.
Speed 19 Papa Kilo, not for you. Remain the frequency. Break. Tom Jet 1 Papa Kilo.
Please leave the frequency.
Scottish on 135.850. Bye.
135.850. Thank you.
85
Right.
Kilo, turn right, heading 10.
1365. Let's go 1365 to Honolulu.
For speedbird 19 Papa Kilo. Apologies for the bus.
Oh, for goodness sake, go away.
See you again. Speed 19 Papa Kilo, turn left, heading 150 degrees.
Was that for me?
That's for speedbird
No.
19 Papa Kilo.
No.
You read back someone else's call. For you, it's heading 150 degrees.
Alright, 150. Sorry, I'll have to listen out. There's multiple
Oh, goodness sake.
Break. November 251 Charlie Victor, contact London Control on 127.1. Bye-bye. November 251 Charlie Victor, London 127.1. Bye-bye.
I think that's Shawbury down there.
127.1, bye-bye.
No. No.
But 19er Papa Kilo, report you're heading to London Control on 127.1. Bye-bye.
Oh no, Shawbury's on...
1.1 for speedboat 19 Papa Kilo. We're
Yes.
heading. Thanks for your ECG. Good night.
Please go.
Break. Golf Foxtrot Romeo, report you're heading to London Control on 127.1. Bye-bye.
127.1 and report heading to him. Golf Foxtrot Romeo, have a good evening.
Easy 56 Lima Kilo, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
127.1.
Control, good afternoon. Midland 58 Foxtrot Delta with you, flight level 240.
Midland 58 Foxtrot Delta, London. Hello, route direct at...
And London Control.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Speedboat 19 Papa Kilo. We are being assigned...
Shut up.
150, just arriving at flight level 190.
Can you be told to turn your mic down?
November 251 Charlie Victor, cruising at flight level 190.
251 Charlie Victor, hello, safe speed.
Right.
November 251, Charlie Victor London, control, roger, stay speed.
The indicated speed is 190 knots.
Roger.
London, hello, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you, flight level 150 and current heading is 170 given by previous controller.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo London, roger, resume your own navigation now, direct to Compton and say speed.
Direct Compton, Resumo Nav and ground speed 160, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Roger.
Okay, so we're back. He said direct Compton, so...
Easy 91 Quebec Hotel, descend to 6,000 feet, Birmingham QNH is 1015.
Descend out to 6,000 feet, QNH 1015,
Pegasus is 41, climb file 390.
Flight level 390, Pegasus 41.
Ryanair 11 Echo Bravo, climb now, flight level 110.
Flight level 110, Ryanair 11 Echo Bravo.
Lufthansa 1 Lima Lima, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 1228, bye bye.
1228 for Lufthansa 1 Lima Lima, bye bye.
Golf Delta Alpha, route direct to Lambourne, Lima Alpha Mike. No, it's for Golf Delta Alpha, Golf Kilo Oscar Delta Alpha, direct Lambourne, Lima Alpha Mike.
Direct Lambourne, Golf Delta.
He gave me direct Compton, so I'm going direct Compton.
19 Papa Kilo, resume your navigation, direct Kidley.
Resume your navigation,
this is the guy.
direct Kidley for speedboat 19 Papa Kilo.
November 251 Charlie Victor, direct to Midhurst, Mike India Delta.
Direct Victor Midhurst, Mike India Delta. November 251 Charlie Victor.
Neptune 23 Juliet, climb file 220.
220 Neptune 23 Juliet.
What is the OAT now? Outside air temperature is negative 11. Yeah, negative 11. Well, yeah, goat friend.
Bravo, climb file 350.
See, he sounds like a younger kid who... He sounds like a younger kid who just doesn't realize he's turned it up. And no one's telling him that his microphone is louder than every other person on frequency. On the previous frequency and this frequency. And he just needs to turn it down. And it sounds like his mic is clipping also, so... There's a lot of aircraft on my left-hand side, actually. There's like 4 of them.
91 Quebec Hotel, turn right heading 290 degrees, turn to 5.
Flight level 2339, 18... 19 Papa Kilo. I think 19 Papa Kilo, that's the one I talked about. 19 Papa. Yeah, 19 Papa Kilo. He's off my left-hand side. That's him, I think. So he's going the same direction I am.
Golf Kilo Oscar Delta Alpha, D10, flight level 70.
Flight level 70, Golf Delta Alpha.
Ryanair 76 Lima Juliet, climb file 370, Monday Unicom 1228, bye bye.
370 and Unicom 1228. 7 Juliet, good evening.
Ryanair 11 Echo Bravo, confirm free speed, please.
8 on.
Free speed, Ryanair 11 Echo Bravo, thank you.
Neptune 23 Juliet, climb file 270.
270 for Neptune 23 Juliet.
Is the 2429er reaching Alpha 1 at Luton, ready for departure?
2429, roger, do you require the backtrack?
We'll backtrack Easy 2429er.
Roger, backtrack approved, and runway 25 clear takeoff, the wind is 3108 knots.
So backtrack approved and clear to take off runway 25 Ryanair Easy 2429er.
Easy 48 Alpha Lima, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight 80, wait now.
And easy 48 Alpha Lima, report your cleared level to Gatwick Direct to 126, decimal 825.
Level 126, 825, just need to wait now.
Thank you. Lufthansa 91 Alpha, descend flight level 80, level land ball.
38 holding level land ball, Lufthansa 91 Alpha.
Control November 8 for Victor Kilo, type Comanche, Birmingham, with the name from Bravo, QNH 1015, clearance to Bristol.
November, Victor Kilo, hello. Which city you think they're going on?
None if possible. Request track comp.
Yeah, roger. Okay, clear Bristol 33 after departure, make a left-hand turn out direct Compton, climb to 4000, score 4310.
What do people think about the Just Flight Fokker F-28 Fellowship? I'm quite in love with it. I haven't bought it yet. It's a bit pricey for me.
Spirit 91 Papa Kilo, descent flight 150.
I mean, it's just the sort of thing I would...
15019 Papa Kilo.
Goodness sake. Please turn his microphone down.
Alpine 3832, standard, Luton, requesting pushback.
Alpine 3832, good evening, push start approved. Alpine 3832, push and start approved.
Alpine 3832, pushback approved.
Neptune 23 Juliet, no further ATC unfortunately, continue now, Unicorn 1228, bye bye.
122 decimal 8 for Neptune 23 Juliet, thanks very much for the lead, bye bye.
Take care. EZ91 Quebec Hotel, you're clear to land, the wind is 3408 knots.
Sorry, you could land, we can now Quebec at the top.
Bieber, discard, Ferroline 9812, on its Unicorn 1228, bye bye.
Unicorn for Ferroline 9812, cheers for the coverage.
South from front, who might be happy,
Cessna 8 Mike, London, hello, you're on a Honolulu 1 Charlie arrival, so route direct to Odford. And it'll be a further descent in about 90 miles. Right, 62 Juliet, hello again, 2 clear takeoff, 350 degrees, 5 knots. It's 2429, climb now, flight level 110.
Climbing level, flight level 110, easy 2429.
Golf Delta Alpha, descend to altitude 5,000 feet to be level by landborne. The London QNH is 1013.
5,000 feet, level by London, QNH 1013.
Lufthansa 91 Alpha, there's no ATC on for Heathrow.
This aircraft just loves cruising. It's such a cruiser. It's like Scott said. It's just it loves cruising. It's so comfortable.
Pegasus 41.
It's chill. It's just so chill.
125 decimal 750, Pegasus 41, yeah.
London Control, United Nations 3 Alpha, Boeing 727, stand 213, stand stead, ready for push and start.
Hello, buddy. Contact ground 121725 is coming.
Sorry about that, we'll go.
Interesting.
Hello, Ryan 6 Program, I'm going to transform on estimation, Bravo, it's then over cross current 3 calls.
6 Bar Alpha, no flight plan, checking with R. In fact, I regard that, I'm being blind. Stand by. Stand by, April.
Thank you.
God, third time lucky. EC4249, it's an unrestricted climb to 110, sir. EC2429, it's an unrestricted climb to 110.
I'm cancelling in mind the MAC dual, okay, so I will climb as soon as possible.
I turn these people down as far as I can.
60 Juliet, continue on present heading, climb final 160. Running 11 Echo Bravo, contact Amsterdam radar 125.750, good afternoon.
125.750, runner 11 Echo Bravo.
I'd rather see the ground speed right now. Well, ground speed 164, nautical miles 55 nautical miles to Compton.
Bravo is current, landing runway 22.
Not long now. Okay, so Gatwick radars come online.
November 84 Victor Kilo from Golf, clear takeoff 33 to searching 3408. Golf,
I might, as a courtesy to Gatwick radar, tune to Gatwick radar.
Fairly heavy on the climb out from Heathrow, but Brookman Park 7.
Because he might have
stand by Alpine 383.
traffic outbound.
Alpha 1 via Echo Delta Alpha.
Yeah, I think he's going to have outbound aircraft.
Spin F4 Charlie Echo London, hello to you, school 7017.
So what do people think of the Just Flight Fokker F-28 Fellowship? I really like it. At some point in the future I'd like to get it. Does anyone else have it? What do they think? And who else on stream has the Comanche at this point? Has everyone else got it? Flying it? If you don't, you should.
Runway 62 Juliet, flight heading 240 degrees. November 251 Charlie Victor, descend final 150.
So about 40 minutes time, so about about 15 to 25 past 7 we should be on the ground.
Speedbird 19 Papa Kilo, descend flight level 1.
Worried about the small gauges.
120
well,
to Speedbird 19 Papa Kilo.
Speedbird 19 Papa Kilo, contact Gatwick Director 126.825, bye-bye.
126.825 for Speedbird 19 Papa Kilo. Thanks for your see. Have a lovely night.
Goodbye.
Ow.
Goodbye. I suppose I shouldn't get annoyed. It's just that, like, it's so loud. Anyway. Positivity on stream. What a beautiful aircraft. What a beautiful sim.
Golf Delta Alpha, you can prospect yourself now for landing 27 at 50 and Monash Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
Prospect is landing 27 at 50, bye-bye.
London Control, Logan 708, with you, flight level 3.
So, still 163 knots ground speed.
Good evening, when ready, descend file 290.
47 nautical miles outbound.
Ready, down to 290, Logan 708.
Run F5 Alpha Romeo, descend flight level 160.
London Control 34422.
422, hello, Logan 2 hotel arrival. When ready, descend 160 level by Sabre.
Okay, Logan 2 arrival.
Actually, let's just prep. Not center.
Easy 429, further climb your discretion, Monash Unicom, bye-bye.
126.825.
Climbing my discretion and monitoring 122.8. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
86 Lima Golf, climb file 140.
Just going to pre-tune Gatwick radar, because when he hands me off to Unicom, I would rather monitor Gatwick radar if I'm going to conflict with any inbound or outbound aircraft. Because I'm descending down past after Compton, I'm in the descent, and that puts me in the path of aircraft taking off westerly.
Right for kilo, passing 3,100, climbing to altitude 4,000 feet on track call.
94 meters kilo, roger.
Let's see, 35 minutes now. Half an hour, guys. Here we go. It's been a long old ferry flight, guys. Lockhaven was not that long ago. We've come far since then. I'll have to read out the stats when we land on Volanta to see what exactly this aircraft's done so far. I mean, we're on 21.5 hours on the airframe so far, so let's keep that up. Let's keep that going. Let's see, we've got 27.1 gallons remaining with an endurance of 2 hours and 35 minutes. So we've got tons of room left. We've got tons of room left. This thing, like with a tailwind, this thing will go forever. It's so impressive. So impressive. I need to go back and watch my 2017 Comanche ferry flight and figure out why I had to divert to the Faroe Islands, because if I had full tanks leaving Keflavik, there's no reason why I couldn't at least have reached Scotland. Maybe I was trying to make it to Bergen. Yeah, maybe that would have been too much. I'll have to go back and rewatch those. It'll be really interesting to see the visuals of the internals and externals of the Comanche in P3D versus MSFS, because the visuals have been upgraded, definitely. The textures, the visuals, the reflections, the lighting, everything looks a lot better, obviously, than it does in P3D, but
and 86 Lemon Golf, climb file 390. In fact, climb file 380. Sorry, you're going northbound, so make it 380 for the time being.
36 nautical miles to Compton. Let's see, 164 knots ground speed.
So 380 at the moment, you'll be 390.
With a right-hand tail crosswind.
Finesse 4 Charlie Echo, climb file 410, resume your own navigation direct Somva.
410, navigation direct Somva for Finnair 4 Charlie Echo.
Oops, you're answering that question right now. Oh, okay. I'm sure someone does right now. Yeah. So, Alistair, if you have the P3D, if you have the Comanche in P3D, and you loved P3D, I'd fly it in P3D. But you've got AccuSim 2.0, which I'm willing to bet is a far better and more detailed version of AccuSim, and more immersive version, a dynamic version of AccuSim than the AccuSim of yesteryear.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, there's no further ATC for you, unfortunately. Continue on Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, thank you very much for ATC, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Cheers, bye-bye. Logan S708, descend flight of 150 to be
7,000 for speedboat 19 Papa Kilo.
Oh, has he turned his microphone down? Joy! Joy! He's turned his microphone down. Yes. So I'm going to monitor him anyway. Yeah.
Landing control 127.1.
So,
thank you very much. Bye-bye.
The engine analyzer, if I go... Yeah, you see my frame rates just start to tank. But all is well with the world. Like, this is amazing. This really is amazing. And again, you have the whole aircraft hangar, airframe, any issues that come up. You know, I love how you can't see any issues until you hit the inspect button, because the issues would only appear when you physically fly the aircraft and you feel that something's not happening as it should. That you still don't know until you physically inspect with that button there. But yeah, there seems to be a bit of a memory leak with the engine analyzer page. One thing I have to make sure now on descent is I have to make sure that I don't cool shock the cylinders. So I might start descending a bit sooner. I might start descending as of Compton. And just do it as gradually as possible, because I've heard about the cylinder cracking thing. And I don't like the sound of it. So. Oh, okay. Cylinder 5 is distinctly higher than cylinder 6. Cylinder 6 is a little bit lower than it normally would be, in my experience so far. So, interesting.
To maintain 4,000, QH 1013. Speedbird 195 kilo.
Yes.
Speedbird 19 Papa Kilo, turn left heading 075 degrees.
That's 075 for Speedbird 19 kilo.
Line 34 X-ray, direct to EGKA.
Okay, now from Compton it's 1475. Actually, I'll go 1475 on standby to see if we pick it up yet. Yes, we do pick it up. So it is active already, which is good. We could tune 155.
Easy 367 Romeo, Gavin director, hello. Climb now, flight level of 1.
Set 155. We see we're slightly to the right of track, but close. Close. Now, can I change the... I can't change to all of a sudden start tracking nav 2. I can't change the source to nav 2. Can I? It's only going to track... The autopilot's only going to track nav 1, I'm pretty sure. Still. It's tracking very nicely. So I'm currently on. I'm technically on Unicom, but I'm listening in as a courtesy to Gatwick Control, because if we have any, well, we might have some confliction issues in around his airspace.
Descending to flight level 80, inbound for Midhurst.
Alistair, yes.
Hello, landing runway 265.
Yeah, no, so the camera setups... see, this is the thing, Alistair. I suppose it depends on the way you fly. Everyone flies differently. If I, personally, my primary mode of flying is with track IR, sitting in the pilot seat. So, you know, I want to be able to look around the cockpit. I want to be able to look in at stuff and twiddle things with the mouse. And apart from that, if I want to go to different positions in the cockpit, I could pull up the 2D panel and I could go over and fly as the second pilot. But apart from that, this external view is good enough for me. And 99% of the time I'm in this position, and if track IR works okay, I'm happy. So there's not a huge deal. I do acknowledge though that when you have chase plane really is amazing for custom camera views and stuff. And if you don't do a lot of track IR work, chase plane is an amazing tool. And its lack in Microsoft Flight Simulator is felt by everyone who's experienced it in P3D. And very sadly, Microsoft Flight Simulator has not released the API or the coding of cameras. I guess somehow Chase Plane has found that it's not something that they can do. They can't bring Chase Plane in, which is really sad. Maybe another camera tool might do it. I'm not sure, but.
7 Romeo, report you're heading to London, 137.17.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Daniel. Yeah.
Bit 19 Papa Kilo, I'm left heading 34, Heavy degree.
340 for speedbird 19 Papa Kilo.
Barreling right down the middle there, even with a crosswind. Right, I mean, holding the radial perfectly.
The range is 30 miles for touchdown, runway 265.
Now I'm going to cross Compton at 15,000 feet. What's the chance that there will be a heavy
climbing out of Heathrow, outbound, passing Compton at my altitude. That's what I'm afraid of.
Sky 608, going direct to hello, landing runway 265, clocking over 8.
There is a way to chase plane, but it's via free cam. It isn't easy. Oh, okay.
Flight level 100, Skyway 608.
Yeah, you see, there's people taking off from Heathrow right now.
November 251, Charlie Victor, left heading 12,
yeah, there's a 330, a Lufthansa 330. Actually, if he's a Lufthansa, he might be turning south. So, but I'm inbound Compton at flight level 150, and I'm supposed to be on Unicom, but that's why I'm listening to Gatwick. If Heathrow had someone, let's see if Heathrow has anyone I can listen to. No.
Nope. 19 Papa Kilo, left heading 285.
Yeah.
Right, 285, and we'll set up for the ILS to
he just got
speed of 19 Papa Kilo.
He just got louder and started clipping again. No, Heathrow is under Unicom. I should if Heathrow's under Unicom.
Gatwick approach 16, Chax 100 Charlie Lima.
If Heathrow's under Unicom, I'm gonna go Unicom as well in case someone needs to call me.
Easy 843,
Gatwick approach 16, 100.
And I can always switch to Gatwick as I'm getting over the south coast. I need the bathroom actually. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick, guys, in readiness for landing, so I'm not like, you know, dying on final approach. So actually it's 8 nautical miles away. It's all gonna get busy from here on. I'll be back in a few seconds, don't worry. All right. Okay. Just coming up to Compton, 3.6 nautical miles. Okay.
Yeah, at Compton I'm going to start a slow descent. Oh, hello. Yes. He's descending. He just stopped conning. Yeah, he's just coming down through flight level 220. And I've got a Logan up my backside as well, coming in, same altitude as me. Busy. That's cool that we just caught him as he stopped conning. It's an EasyJet. You can actually see the livery from this distance as well. That's so cool. I love Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, yeah, okay. Right. Game pants, people. Let's go to Goodwood now. Let's go Goodwood. And we need to be 155. 155 set. And let's go high track. And let's start descending. Altitude, disengage. And let's start reducing manifold pressure, but not too much because we know what can happen. Right, so I would go to my engine, but then my frames per second is going to be like 10 frames a second. Just going to go back to this. And I'll just watch. I mean, engine cylinder 1 is... There you go, 500 feet per minute in the descent. That's what we want. Are you going to stream more now the Comanche is out? I hope so. My schedule's always been rough, but I think, yeah, my time is not my own as it used to be when I was, you know, in my 20s. So I can't really definitively say, oh yeah, I will be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays from this time until this time. I'm not one of those streamers. I think my time is actually better used producing high quality, tailored tutorial content rather than doing, you know, streaming. Streaming is, I mean, when I started YouTube, streaming wasn't a thing. You just didn't, nobody really did streaming. There was like, there was Matt Davis. Chewy wasn't even on the scene then. Matt Davis was just beginning. Me and Matt, I go back just about as far as Matt Davis does, or did. That's how old I am on YouTube. But again, I've never grown. I've plateaued. My channel has plateaued quite significantly. And I think the way forwards for me is to not pressure myself into trying to have, you know, frequent streams and always stream the best and, you know, the shiniest thing that's just dropped, you know. Chewy does that and other people do that, and he makes a living doing that. My thing would be creating, you know, well-made, quality, tailored content. I put a lot of time and effort into the airfield video. I did a video of Shoreham Airfield. I am almost ready to release a video I did when I went to Foynes Foynes Flying Boat Museum with Ian Fisher. That video is ready to drop soon. I need to film literally like 2 or 3 more video clips for that, lay them into the edit and master it, color grade it, and it's good to go. So yeah, and then I was going to do that. My next airfield video was going to be on. What is? Oh, hello. My next airfield video was going to be on Alderney Airfield, but the scenery's a bit glitchy, so I don't know that I'll be doing it of Alderney right this minute. I might do another one until I fix the Alderney scenery. Hello. Hello. A330. It's a little bit like, ooh, I don't want to crash into you. When you see them that close, that's 8,000. He's in the climb up through 9,000 feet, and I'm descending through 13,000 feet. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Wow. It must be nice for those big airliners to see small GA traffic around as well, because there's not many people who fly lots of GA traffic on VATSIM. I wish there was more. There should be more. It's just everyone sticks to the airliners because for some reason they find it more comfortable. And I understand that long-haul airliners fit in better with people who have busy schedules and they just have time to take off and then hit autopilot. I mean, again, I work from home. It makes sense to me to do a nice long haul. I hit autopilot and I go and I work for 5-6 hours and then I come back, and that does me. So yeah, I'm just worried about this whole cylinder head cooling thing that I've learnt about. I've only just learnt about it for this aircraft. I mean, if you're flying it, you may as well stream it, right? Well, true, but then, yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just that I may not want to stream every single time I go flying. Like, particularly, a lot of my flying I do just for my own personal enjoyment. And a lot of the flying now that I do is long haul with autopilot on, and I'm actually at work, so I can't really devote myself to people to talk to during a live stream like that. So I think periodically I would live stream just to kind of update people on the health of my Comanche. I think I would enjoy that. I think I will do that. Because, this persistently, let's see, I've got 21.8 hours on the airframe. I would, as I continue to fly it, every new video, it would be like, 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, however many hours in between. And if I'm taking this Comanche on, a European tour or an African tour or a Norwegian tour, I think a Norwegian tour would be better. Then yeah, I will update you and I will do some streams. But I think for me, live streaming would only happen when I have adequate ATC coverage. When there's no ATC, I feel like it's just a bit boring. Okay, hang on. Let me go grab. Oh, Heathrow is now online. Okay. Tower. I want ground tower. Okay. See, these ATC controllers pop up and pop down like at a moment's notice. We've got Heathrow Director, and now we don't have Gatwick Director. So there's kind of really no reason why I should tune either of them, because then they're not managing their outbounds in that way. So yeah, you see. Okay, in the descent, coming up to 17 inches manifold. Let's just bring that manifold down. Let's have a consistent manifold pressure on the way down. Tracking inbound Goodwood, 16.2 nautical miles. That's good. Coming down through flight level 120. I can see the coast there already. Actually, Shoreham is just over there. Actually, it's beautiful. I can actually see our destination. Goodness me, it's been. I keep saying it, but it is quite satisfying after doing thousands of nautical miles in such quick succession in an aircraft like this, to finally see your destination. I remember doing the leg from Heathrow to Sydney in the Constellation, and when I came into the circuit and landed at Sydney, that was so satisfying. I remember that. That was good. I can't wait for A2A to bring the Constellation into Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Strat, if they do. What I would really like to see is the Bristol Britannia. I did query the Bristol Britannia on the forums, and Lewis Bloomfield seemed to be very pro Bristol Britannia. So I don't know. They at least they know that it exists. They know that it exists as a vintage propeller airliner. And it would prove to be a really amazing implementation of their AccuSim 2.0 software, because it's a four engine turboprop airliner. I mean, long haul airliner. You could fly Heathrow to New York direct, into a headwind, without the need to even think about diverting to Gander or Shannon. So it's right up there, just before the jets. Just as the 707 was coming in, they were introduced the Bristol Britannia just as the jets came in. So there were a few years where it made sense, and then all of a sudden, everyone was on the jets. So now I don't want to create a carb icing issue. Yeah, that frame rate is changes pretty crazy. I loved your Connie videos. Thank you. The reason why airliners work on stream is that during cruise, streamers can literally forget about the airplane and interact with the chat. Yeah, true. Well, personally, the only thing I enjoy watching is GA flying, particularly in secluded and kind of forgotten areas of the world. Why would I watch Heathrow JFK back every day? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, I hope to get some fun places in the world in this aircraft. See how far I can go before I start having any proper engine troubles with this. We've got 10 gallons in the mains and 2 gallons in each tip tank. So yeah, it's been a good long flight. Time to put this bird down and plug in the engine heater and go grab some dinner. So. Down through 10,000 feet. Yeah, we might have to be in the circuit a couple of times, continuing to decelerate, as we're a little bit high. Okay, inbound Goodwood, 5.5 nautical miles. So actually, that's Goodwood right there. There's Goodwood. So the outbound radial from Goodwood is 093. So let's go heading hold and then tune 093. set. Yeah, we're still up at 9,000 feet. And Shoreham is literally just over there, so we will have to... Oh, there's another traffic. It's a Ryanair I can see on little nav map. Yeah, I'm sub 10k now, so people, airliners hopefully will be above me. Landing lights on. Right, let's have a look at my checklists. Flight info, checklists, approach. Autopilot master is off. Well, no, we're going to keep that on a while longer. Fuel pump needs to go on. Well, that's the approach checklist, actually. I'm not going to worry too much about that until Okay, 2.3 nautical miles to Goodwood. We're really close over it now. I mean, I could probably squeeze my head out that. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm literally just over it now. So. Okay, 1.6. Let's turn. Let's turn towards Shoreham, like so. Wow, welcome to the south coast of England. There's the Isle of Wight in the afternoon, the late evening sun. There's Goodwood. There we go. That's a screenshot and a half. Look at that. Boom. Welcome home. Golf Lima Indy Foxtrot Romeo. Screenshot that. And here's up to Shoreham. So what actually oh my goodness. That's some choppy. That's a choppy tailwind now. That is a choppy tailwind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel my IFR flight plan, but there's no controller to do so. So I might just call on Unicom. There's Littlehampton VRP off to the side. Shoreham traffic. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is cancelling my IFR flight plan, coming down through 8,000 feet, inbound Littlehampton VRP for an approach to Shoreham. Shoreham traffic. Okay, so... Okay, turning Littlehampton. $7,000 feet. So my cylinders are all quite cold now. So what I need to do is be careful that I don't whack the throttle back up quickly when I get down there. I can't really believe, I genuinely find it hard to believe that I've flown this aircraft all the way from Iceland without having to refuel. That is utterly remarkable. Really, when you think about it. Okay, there's Littlehampton. Right, now I believe my... Actually... I am quite high. I'm still 7,000, 6,000 feet. Yeah, I'll do an overhead join. I'll do an overhead join. And descend on the dead side. Look at that wing flex. Accusum wing flex. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, and of course, the one thing they also added was the Windows fog up. Window condensation. They didn't mention it anywhere in any of their feature list. But of course, because it's A2A Simulations, they added it. And no other aircraft developer in the history of flight sim has ever done that. Hasn't ever seen that. I've never seen that feature. Please tell me any other aircraft developer, other than A2A Simulations, that has dynamic window fogging up based on the outside and the internal temperatures and amounts of moisture. Like, please, somebody. Very bumpy. We're seeing the turbulence. We're seeing the turbulence in action here. It's getting a little bit low on the frame rates. Not too low on the frame rates, but it's not as smooth as it was. But then I have literally had the computer running for 13 hours now, non-stop. So this is really a stress test of stress tests. I won't ever really be stress testing as much as this, I think. Right, there's Shoreham. Still. Phew.
Traffic, butter 5380 on approach from Holly.
Right, let's just grab the meta for Shoreham, which is, oh, interesting. 11 knot wind from 230. So it will be oof. This wind. 4,000 feet. Wow. Wow, look at that wing flex. Isn't that beautiful? It makes you feel like you're really sitting in an aircraft that's made of materials that flex. I never thought that the Comanche wing flexed like that. Of course, we never saw it in P3D, but okay, I mean, normally you would announce an overhead join, but since there's no other aircraft in the area and there's no ATC, I'm literally here by myself. I'm not going to call it. I'm just going to call final because I know where I'm going. I know the area. There's the tunnel. That's a VRP. The Brighton Tunnel. And then I'll come in along the river visually and coming down through 3,000 feet. Gusty, 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 gusty. Okay, so circuit height is 1,200 feet, I believe. No, it's 1,100 feet.
British Air 780, taking off runway 26 west.
Okay, heading due west. I'm quite fast right now as well.
Traffic, 2 jets, going around traffic on the runways, just cut me off.
Ryanair above me.
British Air Zone 80 holding short runway 26 left. Charges coming out.
That's 5380 on base 12 miles away.
Okay, disconnect the autopilot. Off with the autopilot. Whoa, hello. Right, here we go, guys. Okay, I'm just going to minimize chat, so I don't know what you're saying. If you're saying, I'll pick it up when I'm on the ground, on stand. Okay. Shoreham traffic, Golf Lima, India Foxtrot Romeo is turning left onto full final runway at 22. Okay, 2,000 feet. Let's go,
Buddy up runway 26 left. British Air 8780.
Okay, approach checklist. Autopilot master is off. Fuel pump. Let's get that on. Fuel pump is on. Fuel selectors are on the desired tanks. Fuel levels check. We are good with fuel. Mixture. Let's go rich mixture. Prop full forward. It is. Carb heat as required. That's out. Airspeed 120. Gear is down. Okay, well we need to bleed speed obviously, which we are trying to do. So we are down at 1,700 feet.
What was the traffic call sign that cut us off on final?
Oh, I feel like I've been descending for hours. Oh, that is a sharp descent. Sorry about that. Okay, let's pull the throttle out now. Okay, so I haven't set this up. I'm gonna be. Actually, no, I could make this. That's 1,100 feet.
Tower traffic right now, 52 Golf, 25 miles from the field. Coming in from the south, overhead Willow at 7,000.
Gear going down.
Downward traffic.
First notch of flaps. Don't want to put too much flaps down now because, remember, we don't want to throw our engines into shock. So I'm going to try and use as little throttle as possible and just continue the glide all the way down. We got more than enough altitude. Okay, 2 whites, 2 reds. Shoreham traffic, Golf Lima, India Foxtrot Romeo on final runway 22. Shoreham traffic. Actually, I'm just going to pull that out completely now.
Traffic, 789 is back on the left bound, quick and right down.
Yep, throttle's completely out. I'm just bleeding airspeed, bleeding airspeed, bleeding airspeed. Down over the car park. 90 knots. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, with traffic loud motion 9-3
Decrab.
For the 26 ILS, 7,000 feet, 220 knots.
And brakes. And good. And lean for ground operations. Welcome to Shoreham, ladies and gents. What, 5-hour flight from Keflavik? Okay, let's go taxi Alpha. After you switch to external view and come back to cockpit, your FPS is a lot better. Don't know if this is something you already mentioned. Okay. It may be that. I mean, if I go engine maintenance, I mean, you see my frame rate is now absolutely pants. If I go out, it's good. And if I go back in, it's absolute pants until I go to something that's not... Yeah, I don't know. Oh.
Just on your 11 o'clock, about 4 miles.
Yeah, taxi to customs and immigration. Coming off Alpha 1. Off with the strobes and landing light. And welcome to Shoreham. What a lovely place. What a lovely idea. I'm so glad I decided to fly all the way from Lockhaven. Now I have my aircraft in the UK, based in the UK, not with 0 hours, but with 22.2 hours on the clock. And what we'll do at the end of the stream is we'll get it parked up on stand, all chalked up and tied down, and we will look at the... we'll inspect the engine and see what's happened, how well we've looked after it on these long ferry flights. After 20 hours, after 22 hours, I don't know how regularly you should. I think maybe every 50 hours you should inspect the engine, something like that. So, but after long cruises like that, rather than lots of little flights, I'm going to inspect the engine. And then I'll just be starting to pick UK destinations and having fun little adventure flights. Exploring the UK and then going further afield. So let's just park up in here. On you come. There you go. Okay, parker brake on. Let's take our avionics off. Let's go electrics off. Let's go engine idle, and then mixture cut off. And then finally mags off. And there we go. Just open up. Oh yeah. Oh. Wow. What a journey. 19 Celsius. Okay. So, let's have a look and see what's going on. Maintenance. Yeah, again, very FPS heavy there. We won't look at that anymore. Let's just inspect. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. I haven't added any of these things. I didn't add any of these things from Lockhaven. I made the decision from Lockhaven. Too many people, this is the thing with add-ons, right? Too many people with something like this add-on, they'll come in here and they'll look, oh, look at all these nice little modifications we can put on our aircraft to make ourselves go faster. Let's whack every single one of them on, and then you never experience the aircraft in its original state. And so what I wanted to do is, from the factory, I wanted to experience the aircraft without all of these modifications and with the original Macaulay prop. And that's what I've done. So that's good to see that I have absolutely no issues with any of my issues or any of my things. Let's go to the engine and let's actually inspect the engine after 22.2 hours. Yeah, 22.2 hours. Yeah, 22 hours on the clock. everything's fine. I'm amazed. I'm happy. I am very happy with the fact that after, let's see, if I go to aircraft. If I go aircraft, alright, flights. Right, look at this. So, from the factory in Lockhaven, Goose Bay, Nuuk, Keflavik, Shoreham, 4 flights, 3,500 nautical miles in only 4 flights. And not every flight was 1,000 nautical miles. If I go flights, not every flight was 1,000 nautical miles. So the first leg was 1,000. This one was definitely not. This was 739. And then the second one was, or the third one was 772. And then the last one was 1,000 nautical miles. So the first and the last were the same sort of length. And then these two were slightly shorter. Interestingly, look at the way the map, because of the map of the globe is flat. The distance between Lockhaven and Goose Bay, that's 1,000 nautical miles. But it looks a lot shorter than this, which is Keflavik to England, which is 1,000 nautical miles. But it's because of the distortion of the globe that makes that 1,000 and that 1,000. And these two, because this one from here, look, from Nuuk to Iceland, that looks longer than this, but that's 300 nautical miles shorter than this one, so it's not proportionate, obviously. Wow, 22.5 hours, 3,500 nautical miles. I've just thoroughly enjoyed that. That was just a load of fun. I can't wait. Now what I'm looking forward to is some nice short local regional flights around the UK into nice little airfields, little airstrips with little coffee shops and, you know, burger joints, you know, all that sort of stuff, down to the Channel Islands, you know, up to Newcastle, up to Liverpool, yeah, up to Scotland, and then, you know, hop across to Norway and go up to Tromsø and down to, you know, all the nice places. But there we go. I'm really happy with the fact that I did 3,500 nautical miles in 2 days, and I have no issues with my engine. Yeah, really happy with that. Anyway, folks, that's pretty much it from me. And of course, all that's going to be saved. States are all saved. So let's go parking brake on, let's go wheel chocks on, let's go tie downs, control locks, let's go put the pitot cover on, let's, what else do we need? Oh yes, we need the engine heater, obviously. We're going to leave this out overnight for, you know, might be a couple of days before I come back, I don't know, depending on my schedule. There we go. Ooh, some moray, there we go. Gottfriend and Alistair, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the stream. I'm just going to take a screenshot for Discord. Welcome to Shoreham. And I really look forward to more adventures in the Comanche VFR low level on VATSIM. Man, I need to find some friends who'd like to fly VFR with me on VATSIM in the Comanche. So, okay, folks, that's enough for me right now. I will catch you next time. And yeah, have a good evening, guys.